Welcome to Gisburn Forest Trail Centre. Now I've got a bit of a grudge to bear when it comes to Gisburn. About 10 years ago I went over the bars and knocked my front teeth out. So we have definitely got a grudge to bear, and as you can see I'm wearing some light body armour today, but we'll see how we get on with this scorching weather. Now we've got a blue and we've got a red, with the crazy red being about 8 miles, which does take in a little bit of a black route, and then we've also got the blue, which is a flowy one. So we'll have a look at the forest, we'll have a look at the conditions of the trails, and as you know by now, less waffle, more riding. Let's see if we can hold off on that grudge. It's going to be a hot one.
1, 2, 3. Unbelievably, as I've literally just left the car park from a little intro, somebody's just driven past me with the kids and said to me, those e-mountain bikes shouldn't be allowed on here. And I felt like grabbing him and saying, why is that then? Why can't e-bikes come on here? You know what I mean? But he's gone with his kids, and I'm not about to start an argument with somebody who's got his kids with him, but not quite sure what his attitude is. But what can you do? I'll have to let them just go up ahead a little bit. What I can say immediately coming into the forest is that this terrain here being very dry is very slippy. So the vast majority of the crashes today, or the offs, whether an experienced rider or not, is going to be washouts. Which means as we get to, it's not so bad on these with the berms, but it literally means as you get into the tarmac or the stone and you're going over, the front wheel would judder over and you will lose your momentum and your grip. And with these berms, it's better to go double pedal. Obviously I don't know them just yet, but I prefer to get my knee out. Everybody's got their own way of riding these. I prefer to get right out and push the bike as far away as I can. For me, that's the way I do it, with the opposite pedals, and then let it sweep round. But again, everybody's got their own technique. If you look at some of the top riders, some do it completely leaned over, some of them lean over with the bike, each to their own. I just want these to go a little bit further down so we can have a bit more fun. Shouldn't be braking at all on any of these, but again, I don't know this route at all. So let's wait for these to get ahead a little bit.
I've been in the forest now for about 10 minutes here at Gisburn, and one thing that I've noticed is that I really do miss about places like this, like trail centres. In fact, part of the forest is that when you become a cross-country rider and a bit of a moors rider, you don't get that foresty stuff. You don't get the smell of the forest. The majority is obviously out on the moors and it's completely remote. I miss that. I miss that smell, the closeness, and just being in the forest, I think, is very therapeutic. It's something I miss, and I'd absolutely love it even more when the forest is raining and when it's wet. It takes me back to hiking.
That's a big B. Before we continue on the rest of this ride, there are two things I feel, if you're a new rider, that you need to know about. The first one is going to be, on a day like this, is heat. Yes, heat. It's very easy to get overheated. I'm not talking about sunstroke, but you can get over exhausted from the heat very, very quickly. Now, many of these Garmin systems have a functionality in it that you can put your body weight in, how far you're riding, etc. And it will tell you when to drink. It even comes up with a banana stop every now and then, telling you to have something to eat. So it's really, really important that you have something to eat. My second point, I've forgotten what my second point, I'll get back to you. Oh, there we go, I remember. What these trail centres teach you, I think, is to look ahead more. As a cross-country rider, we're only really concerned for the vast majority of the time when it comes to the gnarly, rubbly stuff. That's our main concern, otherwise we're flying down these country lanes, etc. When it comes to a place like this, especially if you don't know the trails, it's really important as he said, not looking ahead here, I'm talking, that you don't become fixed, eye focused on the centre of your road line, of the trail line. This is where accidents happen. You need to try and shift your head up and be looking ahead. And as you come to some of these turns, turn your head into the corner rather than letting the bike just go around. You don't want to be attached to the bike. You want to be free from the bike. And maybe I should do some videos on that at another time. We'll maybe discuss that in another video and some tutorials maybe. Because as many of you may or may not know, I've been riding since 1989, just because I haven't had a channel long and I don't do many of the mechanical stuff myself. People think I'm a new rider, I'm not. My first mountain bike was a beautiful purple and white Muddy Fox. And do you know what? I absolutely love that bike. Where she is now, who knows? Who knows where she is now? In the arms of another lover.
When you're not deep in the forest or on the fire trails, the majority of the trail and the track is going to be this rough, rocky, rubbly stuff. Can give you a bit of an headache after a while, so if you haven't got the best suspension bike, you may find that you want to be out of the saddle just a little bit more. And with the majority of this being really loose, shaly stuff, you may want to even drop your tyre pressures down a little bit to stop those washouts. Whereas, of course, you would increase the tyre pressure once you're out on the gravel roads. But it's something to take into account. And as I mentioned before in this video, heat stroke is a real thing. So I'm going to get in the shade and have at least 5-10 minutes now because I'm roasting. And yes, I have got a little bit of body armour on, but the wind is blowing through this really nicely. Whew, it's hot.
That little kid, his dad was going, come on, you can do it. Kid got off his bike, threw it on the floor and went, that's it, I've had enough. I don't want to do mountain biking anymore. I don't care what mummy says, it's good for you. Threw it on the floor and stormed off into the forest. His dad stood there laughing. I says, hey, we've all been there. We've all been there, especially in this heat. Bless him. Mummy says it's going to be fun. But yeah, I can imagine poor lad going through rock garden on his Halfords £100 mountain bike, weighs a ton. Oh yeah, you're right. Except for the plains and the odd little bit of forestry, very, very quiet. The trail is very, very bitty. It's hard to get that flow going for the majority of it because he's so on the brakes constantly, because it's just, you never know quite where the trail is going to take you. It's so bumpy that, as you can see here, I'm not quite sure where the actual trail is. Not sure whether we've missed it here. Not very well signposted, but then again, it is a working forest. And I can see some mountain bikers down there, so let's see if we can work our way down. A little bit of free riding. Watch where we can go here. Oh, can we get down there? Yeah, we can get down there. A little bit of free riding, which is always fun. As you impale yourself. And we come out here into the red. Very, very Dolby-ish, if that makes sense. Well, of course it will, it's a trail centre, but the fact it's a working forest does feel very Dolby-ish. Hiya.
My initial plan today was to do the red, have a little bit of a break, coffee and cake stop, and then go on and do the blue, which I'm told is much more of a flowy trail, which is a little bit more akin to my cross-country riding. But unfortunately, the heat was so hot today, was it 28 degrees I think at one point, that I really started to feel dizzy even after 8 miles. Now I had the body armour on, but it was only lightweight. I could feel the breeze through it. It was purely just the heat and the amount of effort, even on an e-mountain bike. So hats off to those few people I saw on the trails, on a hardtail, on a normal mountain bike, huffing and puffing, sweating, and looking like they were going to pass out.
Oh, I didn't know. Is that a sneaky way I don't know about? It says danger. Let's see what this says here. Broad walk bypass. Well, broad walks, okay. It's hot. It's very hot and we're on a mullet. But we said we were going to experience. You're joking out? Eh? There's no way you can get up there. That's coming down, surely. Good old Martin 7, that's what you were born for, love. That's your terrain. But what we're going to do is we're going to continue with this red route. But just know there is something there, should you decide to choose it. And we'll continue on onto this red route out here, which is a little, I was going to say a reprieve when there is some wind, but obviously this is where you can really overheat. I'm feeling a bit dehydrated already. Yeah, we're going to be turning right here. What's this called? This is called the 8 bike trail. So yeah, it is this way. Living on deep roads there. Slippy! What we need is one big long nice little downhill. That's what I feel it's missing so far, but of course we may find something as we get further around. Can we get up here without dabbing? That is the question. The answer would be yes. Steep. Much akin to Dalby, you'll find there are escape routes. So if you don't want to do little black sections like that, you can go to bypass them and do the red. Great for all levels of riders. But we'll do the full review of this location as we get to the end, because it's only around 8 miles and we've done 5.5 already. So I think that'll give me a good enough flavour to tell you guys what I think, and we may even after a break we'll do the blue. This is called the long way down. I don't know whether the main car park, which is what we're aiming for a little break and something to eat. But I'm not going to say drop in, I'm not going to say it's gnarly, and I'm certainly not going to say send it or that I am stoked. We don't do that crap on this channel. We're not American, we're not teenagers. So there you go. Just see what you've got for us here, Gisburn. What are you going to throw at us? These cross-country riders wanting something that's a bit fun. Whoa, you threw that at me without me expecting it. Beautiful. So this is classed as a difficult. This is a red route. Oh, dark. There's no way this is going to come out on the GoPro. I can already see my hand in front of my face here. Just going to keep that finger hovering over those front brakes. Over the gear lever, brake lever, should I say. if we don't know what's coming. This is certainly more like it. Now, if you was coming down too fast here, you'd end up down there. So be aware, don't ride beyond your capabilities. Done it many times in the past trying to keep up with better riders. And while you can learn a lot more, you can also get yourself seriously stuck. There, shouldn't have braked there. That's because I'm getting into my own bad habits of looking at the trail too much. I'm trying to gauge at this stage what is going to be loose and what isn't. Weight on the outside pedal, little jump, and we're down. We are down. Beautiful. So that is Gisburn Forest, or that is Gisburn Forest, the red trail, which I think quite honestly could have certain black sections. So if you are a beginner, I would go for the blue. Now today in this weather it is absolutely killer. I can't explain to you. Yes, I've got some slight body armour on, but this is really cool. Fantastic place, but what I think personally as a cross-country rider, these sort of places are not really for me. I prefer the long slog uphill, the freedom of the dales, the lakes, the hills. Whereas here to me it feels very bitty. It's very a little bit like Stayburn. But different riders like different things. If you like places like Dalby, you're going to really like this because it's long enough that you can go around, have something to eat and probably go for a good blast back round again. But that's Gisburn for you. A great place if you want to come and practice your trail skills, especially when it comes to looking forward. We all get into that bad habit of looking down rather than looking up. And I find as a cross-country rider, the majority of the time you are looking out here, but when it comes to those really fast, aggressive, gnarly, dangerous downhills that we all love as cross-country, calm down ladies, that skill of looking just a little bit further ahead for those rocks will really come out. So fantastic place. You can come here on your own, you can come in groups. It's probably enough here for everybody, but as I mentioned, it's not always everybody's cup of tea. Will I come again? Probably not, but it's something we can tick off, and I hope you've enjoyed this little bit of coverage here at Gisburn. I won't be doing the blue flu trail, cut each trick already. We shall leave that for another time, probably when we come with some more people, and we'll see if we can get real speed up. But that's been Gisburn. We're going to be heading over to the cafe, which is behind me now, for a cup of tea and something to eat. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thumbs up, like, subscribe and share. I may do a longer video of this trail, especially swoopy, if that's something you'd be interested in. See you in another video coming real soon. Bye bye.